Hey guys, we're going to take on sanitizing your water system. We want clean, fresh water for you to use and to drink.
Wow! Come on, groove along. I said, baby, I know you're on a roll. Sweet honey, let's take it real slow.
Okay, we're going to go straight into sanitizing. So what do you need? Not much. It's going to start off with a measuring cup. We need to be able to measure out some bleach. We need some household bleach and your water hose and system that you normally hook up to your RV. When you're doing this, you need to figure out how much bleach you use to the amount of water that is in your holding tanks. We have a 100-gallon tank in our motorhome, so that means 1 cup per 50 gallons. So we'll be using 2 cups of bleach, and we're going to pour it straight into our water hose. But there's a few things that we need to do first, and we'll go over those now.
Yeah, you gotta move along.
We're going to be running water throughout our motorhome, through the faucets, through the showers, the commodes, everywhere. And a lot of times we overlook a couple of things that are very important. And number one is your refrigerator. A lot of home style refrigerators in RVs now have an ice maker. So we need to make sure that we've got ours turned off and we're not running water through that at this point. So I've got a little cutoff right here that goes from my water line into the ice maker line, and I'm going to turn that off. Anytime your handle is cross, think of that as stopping. If it's in line, that means water flows through the line. If it's across the line, it's like a dam. It stops the water flow. So that's what we want. We'll leave this here until we're completely through, and through with the flush as well, before we turn that back on.
Yeah, you gotta move along.
Okay, another thing we need to consider when we're sanitizing our system is your hot water tank or your hot water system, or maybe an aqua hot. Those have to be handled differently. Most RVs, you're going to have a hot water tank that will have a heating element within that comes into contact with the fluids, heats them up, and that's how the hot water is distributed throughout your RV. We don't want to get bleach or a sanitizing solution in contact with that element or inside that tank of your hot water tank. So you'll need to follow your manufacturer's suggestions on how to isolate that tank. There's usually a cutoff valve right before the tank in system, and there's a cutoff valve after the system. So make sure you follow those instructions to isolate that tank. We don't want to create any advanced or excessive corrosion going on within the tank. Now, in a lot of motorhomes, you have a aqua hot system, and that's what we have in ours, is an aqua hot. In that case, you don't really cut it off. You go ahead and let it flow because it does not come in direct contact. And it will go through copper tubing that is heated, and we don't want to leave a bleach solution in there. But for the time that it takes to go through the sanitization process, it's fine. You just want to go ahead and thoroughly rinse that out with clear water and clean water after you've completed the sanitation system. So, very important. Make sure you take care of that hot water system in the appropriate manner for the system that you're using.
Yeah, you gotta move along.
Okay guys, as we get ready to run that bleach solution through, a couple more things we need to do first, and that is to take the filters, the actual cartridge was in these housing units, out. We don't want those in there as we're just sanitizing the system. So take and turn off your cutoff valves and isolate those guys, unscrew them, throw the filter element inside away, and then put the canisters back on again so that those will get sanitized as we go through this process.
Yeah, you gotta move along.
Okay guys, we have poured up our 2 cups of bleach, and the next thing we'll do is we'll put this and introduce it into the system. Some people prefer to put it into their tank inlet, and we have one right here on our side that you can open up and pour that in. I actually want to put it in through the water hose. That's my preferred method because it sanitizes the hose as well as the system within your RV. All right guys, we're going to take our water hose. This is actually my secondary hose before it goes into the motorhome itself. And so I'm going to take and very carefully pour those 2 cups worth of bleach. Now sometimes people want to take 1 cup, run a little water in, put the 2nd cup, run it in. But most of the people I've talked to, and people in the field that are even more knowledgeable than me, they'll just take 2 and pour it right in. The main thing is we just want to be careful not to spill anything. Then after this, I'm going to get my pressure regulator, which I have taken and added cutoffs to. I have cutoffs here and here, and again, across is closed. Inline is open, so those are both closed now. And I will take and have my pressure hose hooked up. So now I'm hooked up. I've got both cut off. Now I'll hook this into my line intake, and we'll go from there. So now, just like I was saying, I have this cross, no flow will come out, and I've also have one on my line here, which is also crossed. So I will take that, turn this in, get it screwed on, nice and firm, so I'll have no leaks. All right, now I'll keep this one closed. This one I'll turn online, and this one I'll turn online. There we go. So I'll go back and we'll start to fill up our tank. One more thing we have to do in here, there is a main valve that I turn off, and so this water will now go into my tank rather than into the system directly. And then we'll pump water from that tank through all the faucets, hoses.
You gotta feel it. Yeah, you gotta move along. Gotta feel it.
Okay, let's see how things are going. We've been pushing the bleach solution through the hose into our tank, and now it's going into our water tank. You can kind of see a little evidence of the water line moving here just from the flow of water in, and we're going to fill this up and top it up until we see water coming out of our overflow valve. But as soon as it comes out of the overflow valve, we want to stop and turn the water off.
Hey guys, we're coming up a little further now. It's filling up, and before you know it, we're going to be a full tank.
Okay guys, can you hear it? It is going. So right now, we're now overflowing our freshwater tank, and so we'll turn the water off immediately.
Yeah, you gotta move along. Gotta feel it, feel it, feel it, feel you gotta feel it, feel it, feel it, feel you gotta feel it. On the roadway, you gotta move along.
Okay, we have got the bleach into our system, and it is starting the sanitization process. But before we start running our faucets inside, we need to come back here and turn off our valve that controlled the water going into that tank. Because if we don't turn it off, then we're going to be putting water in our pump that's going to cycle right back into the tank again and does us really no good. So on our setup, this is the little line that we had put in place so that we could put city water into our freshwater holding tank. So now I will turn this crossways, turning that off, and it won't recycle. Now on a lot of RVs, you'll have a panel that you turn those levers, and it will usually show you. So once you filled it up, then you want to isolate it again. Turn those off according to your manufacturer's instructions, and then you can turn on your pump and start sanitizing the water through all your faucets on the interior of your RV. Okay guys, we've got the bleach solution into the tank. The tank is filled. We hit overflow, we turned it off. Next thing we want to do is start running water through our system. So I'm going to turn on my water pump, and then I'm going to start running water. We're going to run that water until we smell a bleach smell, and it shouldn't take very long.
Yeah, you gotta move along.
Hey guys, we're heading inside now, and we're going to be checking out all the faucets and running the bleach through the system. So we're going to head to the kitchen. We're going to run it in both the hot and the cold water, but then we're going to go to the bathroom and do the same there, also in the shower, and then we have a sink in our bedroom. So we're going to be covering all of that now. Okay guys, we're inside the coach now, and the bleach has been through the pipes. So now we're going to go to the kitchen sink and run it on both the hot and the cold water, and let the bleach run through until the water run through until you smell the bleach. So here we go with the hot water going, and we're going to be letting that run for a while until we smell the bleach.
Gotta move along.
Oh, I can smell it now. And then we're going to go to the cold water. Oh, I can smell that too. Okay. And then we need to do this one as well. Get the bleach running through this small kitchen faucet until we smell the bleach. Oh, I can smell it now. And there you have it.
Yeah, you gotta move along. Gotta feel it.
Okay, we've sanitized our system. Now it's time to start rinsing everything. So we're going to go back to our water connection, to our city water, and we're going to flow city water back into our fresh water tank. Again, to do that, we have to turn our line on here. That'll start the process. We'll make sure our pump is off now. The pump is off, and now we'll go turn the city water on and fill that tank up and rinse it a couple of times, as well as rinse water through all of our faucets inside our RV.
Hey guys, we've done a final check here. We flushed the system twice now. We've got it flushed through both the hot and the cold water. We no longer smell bleach, so we are good to go.
Okay guys, we've rinsed out our system a couple of times. We're clean. The last step is to put our water filters back in. So we'll take the housings out. We use a Watts water purification system on ours. So we'll have our sediment filter that we'll put back in. This is a 2-pack obviously. And then we'll have our carbon filter. So we hope you've enjoyed watching. Pick out one of these other videos from our library, and we'll see you down the road.